Thanks for staying with our live special broadcast from here at Chennai's Rajaji Hall, where thousands have come from all across Tamil Nadu to bid farewell to their beloved Amma, Purachi Talaivi Jayalalithaa, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, one of the state's most iconic leaders with a phenomenal personality that spanned across state lines and political lines. Leaders from across political parties, celebrity politicians and actors have all assembled here on those steps leading up to that pedestal where the mortal remains of Jayalalithaa are lying in state. A short while from now, Prime Minister Modi will be arriving at this very venue to pay his personal tribute to a leader he shared a personal rapport with. All right, we're getting more reactions on the sad demise of Jayalalithaa. Let's go across to Devina now, who has more.
Thanks, Shiv, for getting us all the ground report. We have Kalyani Shankar, who's a political commentator, joining us at the moment. Going first across also to the visuals that we're getting on the screen from Marina Bay and also from Rajaji Hall, where Shiv is getting us continuous coverage, where last tribute is being paid to beloved leader of Tamil Nadu, known as Purachi Talaivi. And the way Jayalalithaa has changed the matrix of Tamil Nadu politics will be now the topic of discussion for several days, as you have Paneerselvam, who's taken oath as the interim chief minister. Kalyani Shankar, thanks for joining us. But how do you see now AIA DMK coping up with the leadership vacuum? You have Sasikala, known as Chinnamma, who is already by Jayalalitha's mortal remains. Speculations are rife as well that her family has surrounded mortal remains of Jayalalithaa, and that's miffed many AIA DMK leaders.
Well, you see, the future of ADMK is a little, you can't say right now. As far as I can see, the vacuum left by Jayalalithaa is just not possible for anybody else to fill up, because she was a tall leader and she was charismatic, and she was a leader who had a connect with the people, and she was yearning for the poor, and she had many welfare schemes prepared by her. So the new leadership, Paneerselvam, is unknown quality, and I don't see him filling up the space vacated by Jayalalithaa. It's because of various reasons, and he is not new to administration, but when he was the chief minister, interim chief minister 2 times, Jayalalithaa was there to oversee things. Even then people were saying that the administration was becoming a little slow during the cyclone time, all that, so that could be a very big void for ADMK to fill up. The second thing is that I don't see how Sasikala can fill up even Jayalalitha's space, because Jayalalithaa herself had not made her anything either in the party or in the government. If she wanted, she could have easily done that. She could have made her a minister, she could have made her somebody in the party. She didn't do either of those. That means that Jayalalithaa probably did not visualize Sasikala taking over the party. But now it has happened, and Sasikala, the other problem with her is that she has cases against her, and I don't think she can become a chief minister immediately. So there are lots of problems ahead, and for all these things the ADMK has to remain united. That's the biggest thing, and whether Paneerselvam or Sasikala can be the uniting factor also is to be seen. And the other political parties are like Congress and BJP are looking to that space which has been vacated by Jayalalithaa. They are eyeing the space. That is why Congress leaders are going to Chennai, and Congress has not been back from 1967. So they are also looking to that, and BJP has not been able to make a mark in Chennai. So they are also, that's why you see Modi sending his ministers, himself going there, and then they are trying to regulate everything, and I think they will try to even monitor everything with Paneerselvam does.
But if Sasikala is out of the political equation, then is Thambidurai. And will the OPS and Thambidurai combination be able to tide AIA-DMK over the rest of the tenure that they have from the mandate that Tamil Nadu voters have given them. Kalyani Shankar, will come back to you. Going across to my colleague Shiv, who's getting us continuous coverage from Rajaji Hall. Shiv, it's interesting what Kalyani Shankar has pointed out. The BJP and the Congress leaders making a beeline also to project themselves as the party that could fill in the vacuum which has been left by Jayalalithaa. But it's also the testimony of the stalwart that Jayalalithaa was. She was the kingmaker both with the Congress and the BJP parties at different points of time at the centre. A rise of a regional satrap like none other.
I think you've captured that really well, and I completely agree with what Kalyani Shankar has said in her expert view. There is a dichotomy of sentiment here, for other politicians, non-AIA-DMK politicians, who've made a beeline here. The sentiment, of course, is respectful homage, and not denying the true stature of an iconic mass leader like Jayalalithaa, that's sort of manifested in these enormous crowds that is, threatening to relieve us of our position here at Rajaji Hall at any given moment, Devida. But also the fact that there is an opportunity, a huge political void that Jayalalithaa has clearly left in the state of Tamil Nadu that many other parties will be looking to fill. They won't say it now because it looks bad to say it at this point of time, but clearly there will be... Okay, the crowd's just gone crazy here because a helicopter has just flown overhead. Prime Minister Modi is expected to arrive here very, very shortly. We don't know if that's him, but a Mi-17 helicopter of the Indian Air Force has just buzzed right over us. And there's another one buzzing right over us at this point of time. And that's kind of sent the crowd into a bit of a tizzy. We'll return to that in just a moment. Prime Minister Modi will be arriving here. I don't know what's going to happen to this crowd once that happens. But apart from covering the story on the ground, we've got reporters who fanned out across Tamil Nadu to get us the very latest. And we've got some concrete piece of information that we broke a short while ago. And I want to tell our viewers, just a day after Jayalalitha's tragic demise, bits of her property have already been given away to certain close confidants of hers. Shashikala Natarajan has inherited Jayalalitha's Forest Garden residence. Her family will be getting some of the other properties as well. What we do know now at this point of time is that Shashikala, who happens to be sitting right there next to Jayalalitha's mortal remains, is perhaps the closest individual leader to the deceased Chief Minister that there has ever been. We've got Rohini Swami with us. We also have senior journalist T.S. Sudhir with us. Rohini, quickly coming to you first, make sense of this for us. As our viewers get these images of total chaos here at Rajaji Hall, the politics, and the wheels that must continue to turn. The show must go on for the AIA-DMK and Jayalalitha's own world, and her assets going to Shashikala, at least some of them.
Well, you're absolutely right when you say that the wheels should keep turning, and that's what has happened. The handover has taken place. It has taken place many, many years ago also, let me tell you, because Shashikala as a person has been extremely close to her. She has been through her ups and downs political career or in her personal life. And here it is, here she's standing by her side. But she also at one point of time has, along with her family for the past 3 to 4 years, have been handling the finances of Jayalalithaa. And also we do understand, even be it especially for the party funds also, how much of money has to be allocated or spent has been handled by Shashikala for a very long time. Obviously, the decision maker is Jayalalithaa, but it has become, the decisions were taken together. And now in terms of the property and estate that is owned by Jayalalithaa, we cannot put down a number because it's quite, the kind of property she owns also is quite huge. But looking at the priced property which is very close to Jayalalithaa, that is the Coronado estate, as well as the Sirvari estate, which will be going to Shashikala, as well as Forest Garden, which is where it has been a residence for many, many years now. that will go to Vivek, who's also a very close relative and somebody who she trusts completely. We are still getting information on possibly the breakdown of how much the rest of the family is. But yes, Shashikala's entire family are known as the Mannar family, have been extremely close to Jayalalithaa, and this is the only option because Jayalalithaa doesn't have any next of kin who she would be wanting to hand over her property to, and that is why we've seen talks of who's getting what already that has started.
Stay with me, Rohini. I want to get some, expert insight into this also from T.S. Sudhir, who's been, observing all the goings on through Jayalalitha's convalescence and then her tragic demise. Sudhir, there are some experts who believe it's a little hasty or it's a little sudden, too soon after the demise of Jayalalithaa for, assets to be distributed in this manner. But are you surprised that these prized assets of Jayalalithaa have gone to Shashikala and her family?
Well, a little surprised, but what would be critical, and I did not really catch what Rohini Swami actually pointed out as to when the date of the will was. When was the will actually made is going to be extremely critical because obviously we do know that at least in the last 74 days, the Chief Minister was not really in a position to exercise any of her faculties in terms of drafting a will and deciding what who gets what property after she is gone. So that is going to be something which is going to be very crucial. But yes, coming within hours, less than 12 hours of the Chief Minister's demise, the fact that it is public knowledge as to who gets what part of her property does not leave a very good taste in the mouth, somehow does not go well with the occasion. Because if you see the atmosphere out here, Shiv, obviously you would know that it began in the morning as an extremely somber, a very solemn occasion, and now with the masses trooping in to catch the last glimpse of their beloved leader, obviously tempers are running high, and this is probably not really the right occasion and time for this piece of information to be made public as to whether Shashikala's family has got most of the properties which are owned by the former Chief Minister.
Absolutely, Sudhir. So you are surprised by the haste in which it actually happened, but given how close Shashikala is to Jayalalithaa, in that sense, perhaps it was actually the inevitable. Take a look at these pictures, ladies and gentlemen. I want my viewer, to get in on these pictures. The closest to what's going on right now. The sea of humanity threatening to push us off this small little media pedestal that's been, very kindly offered to us by the organizers. To bring this event to our viewers in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, all across the country and the world. The police helpfully trying to divert some of these crowds, as the media tries to do its job, but not for a moment. Not for a single moment, I can tell you, do any of India Today's reporters here believe that we are the story. The story is these people. The story today, the people in the spotlight, the people whose sentiments, emotions, fears, anxiety are in the spotlight are these surging crowds. We don't condemn them. We don't, it's inconvenient. It's sometimes difficult to report in this kind of atmosphere. But I can tell you, this is it. This is history. This is the mass appeal of Jayalalithaa. These are the people who made Jayalalithaa what she was. These are the people, whose undying support, loyalty, love, affection, sacrifice in many ways is what made Jayalalithaa such an iconic figure. And, we're standing here just moments before Prime Minister Modi actually arrives here in a short while from now. We've seen 5 Indian Air Force Mi-17 helicopters, fly over. We're not sure if Prime Minister Modi is in one of them, but we understand that he will be here very, very shortly on stage with Jayalalitha's remains. Okay, we understand that there are more visitors who have just arrived here at Rajaji Hall to pay tribute to Jayalalithaa. I want to quickly go across to Kalyani Shankaran, political analyst who's with us. Ms. Shankaran, not surprising at all, the enormous mass appeal that Jayalalithaa actually had with the masses, with the people of Tamil Nadu. In many senses, what we're seeing... Okay, we've got Rajnikant, superstar Rajnikant, is here. We've got live images. Rajinikanth, arguably Tamil Nadu's biggest superstar and actor, is right there. Take a look at these live images. There he is. He sustained an injury a couple of days ago, which is why he's being supported by a policeman and some others. His daughter Saundarya is also with him. There are certain other people, Saundarya and Aishwarya, both his daughters are with superstar Rajinikanth there. As you can see, he's meeting with Shashikala, consoling Shashikala. This is the superstar, Rajinikanth himself, who had a bit of a problematic relationship, politically speaking, with Jayalalithaa. And like we told you first here on India Today, there he is. He has just arrived with both of his daughters. Also Dhanush, his son-in-law, can be seen there in the checked brown shirt. Aishwarya is the woman right in front of him. Saundarya is the other younger daughter. And Lata Rajinikanth is the lady standing to Rajinikanth's right, who is of course his wife. She's standing right there with him. So the Rajinikanths have arrived here to pay tribute to Jayalalithaa. There was no way they were not going to come. Apart from being, having many parallels, running parallels between Rajinikanth and Jayalalithaa. They were both actors. Rajinikanth also had a political tryst. He had a tryst with politics, however short-lived that was, incomparable with what Jayalalithaa finally enjoyed in her political career. But what Rajinikanth has made possible by coming here is perhaps demonstrate the iconic status that Jayalalithaa really enjoyed. She began her life in the cinema and ended up being a politician and a superstar beyond her wildest dreams, her wildest imaginations. She had wanted to perhaps be a banker or a lawyer, but she ended up being an actor and then a superstar politician. Superstar Rajinikanth has just paid his tributes and is now going to be there for a very short while from now. I want to go across to Kalyani Shankar, a political analyst who's with us live in our studios in the national capital. Kalyani, what do you make of this? It was always expected that many celebrities, superstar politicians, celebrity politicians and actors were going to show up, for Jayalalitha's funeral ceremony, her lying in state. What kind of relationship, if any, did she share with many of these people, if you could tell us, Kalyani?